Yo, it's me, Saucy Steve Football, and I know today I was supposed to come out. I was supposed to have a video ready for you guys with my training at the dog pound. I was ready, Training didn't start till 4 o'clock at the time I'm recording. This is about 2:30, but I got a text around 11 a.m. from my trainer, Stunner Jr. And he told me, yo, with the weather, they closed down the gym today, and the training facility today. So I'll be there tomorrow. And if nothing goes wrong, if this snows down a little bit and the roads get better, I will be there tomorrow no matter what. Wish I could have still came through and gave you all that video, but it's out of my control now. So what I'm gonna do today, and I don't know why, I just thought this on top of my head. I'm gonna talk to you guys about my football journey, kind of how I got into football personally, and I don't know. So where do I start? So my cousin Devin Vance was a football player for Sterling Heights High School. He only played JV ball. Ended up moving after the season. Played JV football. He was amazing. In my eyes, he was amazing. Maybe he wasn't that good, but in my eyes as a kid, you look up to your big cousin. He was one of the best players I've ever seen. And around this time, years before that, I used to be the biggest WWE fan in the world. Dude, you couldn't tell me nothing. It wasn't about sports. It wasn't about nothing else. Every Monday and every Friday, Monday Night Raw I was watching. Friday Night SmackDown I was watching. And that sports really didn't come on my mind. Nowadays, I watch sports, but I still watch WWE. Like, if you are allowed to watch reality TV, why? And that's fake. Why am I not allowed to watch some stuff I want to watch? But it's whatever. Moving on. So I ended up getting into sports. I to this day I'm still into sports heavily. What I want to go into in college and what I want to major in is I want to major in sports broadcasting and journalism. Journalism is dead nowadays. Journalism is what we would used to be, neither is sports broadcasting. I want to bring excitement back into sports broadcasting and real insight back into the NFL and NBA and all the other sports. My goal is to end up on SportsCenter. I started getting into sports heavily, and my dad, I talked to my dad, was like, I wanted to get into football. And he found this league called the Sterling Football Club. I can't thank that place enough, man. Start off, I came in week 2. I know it because they were talking about how they just lost to the Giants. I think this might have been the 7-8. It wasn't the 7-8. It was a 6-year-old division. It was 7-8 division. Yeah, most definitely 7-8 division. And I meet Coach Jeff, and to this day, Coach Jeff is still one of the best coaches I've ever had. Such a nice guy. So we meet, and I came to practice that day with a polo shirt, some Converse on. I wasn't ready for practice, and they started me right then and there, and they had me running the ball. It's really ironic how things end up. Another person that was on that team that year was Brian Overall. If you guys know who Brian is, you must not go to Sterling, but yeah, me and Brian were on the same team. I sucked, and I sucked so bad. I was so bad. My parents would never tell me, but I was just so bad. It's terrible, And Brian was a dog in that team that year. I sucked. I ended up the next year. I think I got my trophy right here, participation trophy, which I don't really keep. But 9-year-old Crusaders. Got the cover of my last name, first name Steven, 2010 Sterling Football. Yeah, that's what we do. It's the 4th grade. I started football in the 3rd grade. This year coming up, 2018, is my 10th year playing football, so I'm probably going to change my number 10. Symbolistic right there. Played for the Crusaders. Actually scored my first ever touchdown. Ever. ran the ball. I remember like it was yesterday. Ran the ball. I wore number 2 that year. Ran the ball, came up, juked the linebacker, went to the outside, shot up, and I scored a touchdown. And I remember, I don't know why, but I was watching so much NFL, and all the guys celebrated. So I was run the ball, and I pointed to the end zone. I looked back like I was really doing something, and I pointed to the end zone, and the ref pulled me aside, which now I know the refs are teens because I went back to referee in that league, but pulled me aside and said, hey, don't do that again. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, that was the happiest moment in my life. We won no games with the Colts. I think it's Crusaders. We won 1 game that whole season. Let me see what year this is. If there's a year on, I don't think there's a year on this. This might be such dust on this. 2011. I played for the Spartans. I played for the Spartans. No, they were the Giants first. Yeah, I played for the Giants. It's when they were. It's my last year of flag football. I played flag football for 3 years. If anyone ever thinks about getting their kids into football, I'm probably gonna put my kids straight into tackle. But flag football does teach you the fundamentals of the game. Don't ever be ashamed if you ever play flag football, man. Right here, still was learning the game, but I started to show out. This trophy right here. This actually, I must not have the one from the Spartans. This is from my final year. Steven, 2013, tackle football. Played for the Falcons. With the Spartans, I really didn't do much. But with the Falcons, oh, man, I went off that season. I had everything. I was ready. I was supposed to play for the Cowboys, which would have been the flip of my season because the Cowboys went to the championship that year. But I ended up on the Falcons because they needed more players. And the Falcons, we sucked. We won 1 game that season. This was the second year we could get jerseys with our name on the back. So actually, I'm gonna bring those. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna bring those. Okay, so I honestly don't know where my Falcons jerseys. I wore number 28 that year. The year before that, I wore number 20. Looking back on it, I don't know why. I didn't have a really reason for it, but 20. You know, Spartans, it's actually a nice jersey. It's not that bad. It actually looks like our cancer game jerseys from last year. It's a pretty nice jersey, pretty slick. I liked it. So, yeah, this is, a little throwback here. A lot of memories. Lots of memories right here. So, moving on from there. Went to the Falcons, had like 20 tackles that year, which for a kid's team is amazing. Had 2 interceptions. One was just straight up one on the other. They tipped it up and I dove for it and caught it. Man, I was a dog that year. If they put up an MVP, I would have had that year. Moving on, that was my 7th grade year, my last year playing football for the Sterling Football Club. Much love to them. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys my 5th year trophy, and it's gonna all make sense. So go cut again. So what y'all seeing here is my 5-year trophy. Every 5-year player gets a 5-year trophy. That's little me right there. That's the beginning. That's the humble beginnings. Still haven't lost my passion for the game. That's me right there from 2013. Boy, put some weight on you, boy. Look at that chunky face, man. I'm so glad I got a jawline, man. Wow, them ears, bro. Ears, man, killing me. That's me on the field, my final year with the Sterling Football Club. I'm 20, like I said, I wore 28. I was scheduled to be a running back that year, and the coach was a B word, and he made his son the running back. His son sucked and cried all the time. I think that's me playing safety, actually, right there. My Nike football gloves, boy, sexy. Falcons helmet, the helmet I wore, actually. Washed it up for me and screwed it on here. 5 mils for 5 years. So, of course, thank you, Sterling Football Club. So, hit 8th grade. I played for the Carlton Colts. I went to Grissom Middle School for 2 years. They switched. If you went or go to WCS, they switched around. They switched around the borders, and you were forced to either move schools or apply to stay at the school that you were at. So, went to Carlton Middle School. That's where I met Joe Davis. That's where I met and Noah Gramps. Those are the only two that still play football. It's pretty cool. And we actually weren't that bad. I believe the only team that we did beat though was Grissom. And I think Tower. Yeah, we beat Tower pretty bad. Yeah, we beat Warren Woods, beat Grissom twice. Or did we play him once? I think we might only play him once, but had 2 wins on the season. Nothing much to really brag about. A pretty decent team. I was not a starter that year. I didn't start as a starter. Guess because they just didn't know me. Most of the guys that were at Carleton that year were second year from players from 7th grade and knew what they had. So Darian was a starter, starting safety. And I remember it's so ironic how it was the game. Every year they play a Stallion Bowl. I believe that's what they call it. Grissom versus Carleton at the Stallion at the Sterling Heights High School Stallion, the Harold R. Field, and I showed out that game. I was making plays. I was hitting people. People was like, "Dang, that's you," and I remember we were beating them so bad. And I was doing so good. This one kid was being a punk and told coach he wasn't going on D-line. I looked at coach, who now is Mr. Clark, the assistant principal at Carleton Middle School. Looked at him and said, "Coach, I'll go on D-line." And I got in. I got right in there. I ended up actually playing D-line next week because they thought it would work. It didn't actually work for one play against Grissom, but it didn't work the next week against Beer, you know. So, yeah, it's just crazy how that happened. So, going into the summer of 2015, I'm a Stallion now. I'm supposed to be a Stallion. So I come to Hitman Camp, which is the camp that kind of gets the freshmen introduced. If the freshmen do want to go to Orchard Lake St. Mary's, they can, but most freshmen usually come in the Hitman Camp. The Hitman Camp, got get out the car. It's so funny. I didn't have no duffel bag, no backpack like I have now because I'm like so organized now. But as a freshman, you don't know what the heck to do. I have my cleats and whatever else in a plastic Kroger bag. I walk in with my cleats on, which is a no-no. I didn't know that. And I walk in and there's Coach Widows, Coach Rod, and I believe Coach Braz too. They walk in and they're walking past me. I'm walking towards lunchroom, and Coach Widows, for some reason, he was like this tall. He's not really that tall, but to me at that moment, my first time meeting him, being so nervous, he was this tall, and he looks at me, and the first thing Coach Widows ever said to me was, "No cleats in the school." So we ended up going 7-2 that year. I ended up playing freshman football that year. It's pretty fun. I actually got to be on the playoff team that year, which is awesome. Got to be on the playoff team. I lost my train of thought. Got to be on the playoff team. I remember Coach picked me, Brian, Joe, and I believe it was Cameron Williams and Ben to be on, and Timmy to be on that roster, which is so awesome. Felt really, really good and felt like we had purpose. Sophomore year was rough. We had no JV team, and I got my butt kicked every single day by guys like Sean Adore and Q and Josh Davis and Stephen Lang. I just mean guys. We ended up actually flipping that from last year and went 2-7. And that's when I told you guys, after that I ended up wrestling and everything, and I got in a few plays that year, because there was no JV. We played one JV game. I believe I had a pass breakup and like a catch, but nothing really. I've already told you guys about my junior year. We went 0-9. Started defensive back and was a third string running back / receiver, and I'm just really looking to make an impact this year. That's what I'm really looking to do. So, not really much else to say. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Hopefully, you got an insight into what drives me with football. I wish I could have brought you that training video today, but I promise I'll get it tomorrow when I go train. And thank you guys so much for the outpouring of support you've been giving me just in 2 videos, man. We growing fast. So, hey, I thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Saucy Steve, soon to be Dread Steve. Don't forget about that, coming Tuesday.